Abby, welcome back to my channel. Today's video intro is in a different place than usual, obviously. You can probably tell already, but today we have a special guest. This is Oscar. He is my dog, obviously. He is an Australian Labradoodle, and as of today, the day I'm filming this, in 1 month he will be 2 years old, so he's still a little puppy. And you know, even when he's 15 years old, he's still gonna be my little puppy no matter how old he gets. Right now, all over YouTube, there are so many people that are having their dogs or their cats or even random animals from the zoo pick out their makeup products for their makeup routine. And that is what Oscar is here for today. He will be picking out my products that I'm going to be using in this video that you are watching right now. Obviously, this is not an original idea. So many people have done it, but I love him so much and I needed an excuse to bring him on here. So Oscar has an Instagram that I made him if you would like to follow him. His username is @oscar.doodle4. And I will leave it linked down below. You know, why not give a cute little puppy a follow on Instagram? I'm sure he would appreciate that, considering he knows so much about Instagram. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and to subscribe so you can check out my other videos when I upload. And I think he's getting kind of bored, so why don't we just jump right on into the video. Okay, so obviously, as you saw in my last clip, I've already done my eyebrows because I only use one product, so there'd be really nothing for him to choose for eyebrows. I also have already primed because I use the same primer all the time, so there would also be nothing for him to choose for that either. For primer, I use the Benefit Professional Pearl Primer just like I always do. And now he is about to choose my foundation, so let's see what he chose. Okay, so the first pick for foundations, we have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, we have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation, and we have the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, but that is the light coverage version. So I've placed a treat in front of each one of the foundations, and when I say okay, that's like his release word, so he will eat whichever treat. We'll probably eat all of them, but whichever one he eats first. Hey! Oscar, I didn't say go. Okay, we're gonna do that again. So apparently he doesn't care about the release word right now, but whichever one he ends up eating first this time is the foundation that I'm going to use. Ready, Oscar? Okay. Okay. Okay, so I guess I'm going to be using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light Foundation for my foundation today. Okay, so for today it looks like Oscar has chosen the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and this one is the light coverage one. So we'll just shake this up a bit, and don't mind how gross this looks, but I'm going to be putting it on here on a clean spot, so probably just at the edge. I need to wipe that off and sanitize it and whatever. I've been using that instead of putting it on the back of my hand because I hate having to scrub foundation off the back of my hand every time I put on makeup. So I just recently got that, and you know, it's like stainless steel, so it's supposed to be really sanitary, which is good because I am a total germaphobe, especially when it comes to my face. I can't stand anything touching my face that I feel is like not completely 100% sanitized. Just, it's like a weird thing I have. I literally cannot stand anything touching my face. Oh, but obviously I'm just applying this to my face, you know, like how you do with foundation. Okay, every single time I wear hoop earrings while doing my makeup, I always regret it because they get in the way and I keep hitting them and then it hurts. I actually love this foundation so much. The Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation has been my favorite foundation for a long time, but I haven't been using it as much recently because I wanted to try new foundations, and you know, I feel like people would get sick of me always using the same foundation, so I found some other pretty good ones, but still nothing's ever been quite as good as this one. Okay, so now that we're done with foundation, we're moving on to concealer and powder, and those two I also did not have him pick out because I only use the one same powder and the one same concealer. So I'm just going to be using my usual Makeup Revolution concealer in the shade C3, and we're just going to apply that underneath my eyes, a couple dots to my chin, and a little V on my forehead. We're gonna blend that out. Starting with the chin and the forehead, I like it to sit a little bit on my under eyes. I feel like it gives it more coverage that way, so it can hide the dark circles underneath my eyes because I never sleep. After I blend out the under eye, I'm just going to take whatever's left over and bring it onto the lid. And that's going to act as our primer for the shadow. So now I'm taking my Coty Loose Airspun powder and I'm first applying it to my forehead to make sure my enormous forehead wrinkles don't ruin my foundation. Then I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to re-blend right under my eye because I have really bad creases. I'm just going to take the powder and go directly into that crease. And I'm just going to set the rest of my face, except I'm not going to set my eyelids. Because if you leave your primer or concealer or whatever you use before your shadows, if you leave that wet, then the shadows will be like 1,000 times more pigmented. Next, we're moving on to the actual eyeshadow itself. So let's see what eyeshadow palette he chose for us to use today. For eyeshadow palettes, the choices are Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag, Jeffree Star Cosmetics Thirsty Palette, Suva Beauty Block Party Palette, and the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk Palette. Ready? Okay. Okay, so today our eyeshadow is going to be done with the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Thirsty Palette. Okay, so we're going to be using the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Thirsty Palette. This is the first item I have ever bought from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and let me tell you, I'm very happy with it, like really happy with it. I actually think this is one of my favorite palettes. This and Life's a Drag, along with Huda Beauty Desert Dusk probably. Those three, definitely my top 3 favorite palettes, which is why I had him picking from those 3. I also love the Suva Beauty palette. It's a new palette. Their collection just launched on July 23rd. I'm really happy that he chose this because, first of all, this palette is just gorgeous. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like the shades in the middle. As you can see, a couple of them are kind of destroyed at this point because I kept trying to get pigment and it just, I don't know, it wasn't showing up very well. I think it looked amazing in swatches, but when I tried to put on my eyelid, I just really didn't like it. So there's that. I don't know why exactly, but that happened. Other than that though, the 2 rows of matte shadows are incredible. I'm honestly obsessed. I've used these shadows so many times in so many different looks. That's just kind of like an overview of my opinion on this palette. Overall, I also think it's really aesthetically pleasing. So like the whole palette just like really kind of screams my name. But today, for this tutorial, don't mind my brushes, they're all messy. This is my dirty brush jar and I literally don't have any clean brushes in my clean brush jar. So don't mind the fact that they're all dirty. I'm going to be using brushes that have these shades, like the exact shades already on them because like I said, I use this palette so much. So yeah, what we're going to be doing first, I think we're going to be doing like a summery snow cone kind of look. You probably have no idea exactly what I mean, but I know what I mean. So you'll see what is about to go down in a second. So the first shade we're going to be dipping into is the shade called Quench right here. And like I said, I didn't set my lid, so the concealer kind of tends to crease a little bit. So I'm just going to quickly go back in, re-blend that out, and I'm going to keep my eye closed until I apply the first shadow. We're going to be putting that directly into the inner corner of the crease. Now that we have done that, we're going to be dipping into the shade Submerge, and that is going into the center of the crease. Okay, it is so hot in here. I am literally like melting, like I'm literally dissolving right now. It is so hot. I can't turn the fan on though because it's gonna make too much noise, and my computer's already making noise that you can probably hear, so I can't make more noise by turning the fan on, but I am dying. It is so hot. But anyway, the next shade we are going to be applying to the crease. This is the last shade that we're going to be packing into the crease. It is the shade Bitch, and we are going to be taking that, and the only spot left in our crease is the outer corner. Okay, so now do you all see what I mean by a summer snow cone inspired look? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, but I think this looks like a snow cone already. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is we're obviously gonna blend the shades together and blend them upwards so they blend out and nice and perfect, whatever. So I'm just gonna be taking that same blending brush, and the brush with the yellow, I'm just gonna be working on blending the yellow shade upwards first, and then we're working on blending it into the blue. Now we're going to be taking the brush with the blue, and I'm just going to be blending the blue upwards as well. And as I do this, I'm going to kind of start to bring it in towards the yellow a little bit. And then I'm going to be doing the same thing with the red shade. I'm sure you know the drill by now. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing on this eye, but I'm just gonna finish that after we finish blending with this eye. Now you can see that we've blended it upwards, because you can see this one is just packed, this one is blended upwards. Now we need to work on blending them together. So I'm going to start with the shade Quenched, and I'm just going to start bringing that into the blue. I'm going to be taking the blue, kind of bring that into the yellow. So basically the part where they met, I'm just switching off, putting the two colors on top of each other just to get a nice blend going. Also, when I'm doing this, I'm focusing more on the upper part of the blend because we're going to be cutting the crease eventually. So next I'm going to be taking that same brush, which I forgot to mention is the M506 brush, and I'm going to be going back into the blue shade, and I'm just going to be taking it and bringing it into the peachy red shade. I'm just going to start blending those together. So now that we're done with that, I'm going to do the other eye, and I will cut that part out because you don't need to see it twice, obviously. Okay, so while I was doing the other eye off camera, I went ahead and I did the next step for the other eye as well. So I'm going to be doing that for the first eye that I did before, and I'm going to be cutting the crease with a white concealer. But before I do that, I'm going to take the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Cleansing Water. I'm sure you've all heard of this before. And a plain Q-tip. I'm literally just going to stick it right there and squeeze so some of the water gets on the Q-tip. And I'm going to use that ahead of time to kind of pre-cut the crease, because since we are using a white concealer, I want to make sure that we don't get any like of the shadow picked up on the concealer, so it actually stays like a stark white instead of getting like a bluishy white or whatever, which has happened to me in the past. So basically I'm just kind of going on the lid. Also, my camera's out of battery, so I may have to stop and come back in a few minutes. Basically what I'm doing is I'm taking this white concealer. This is a ColourPop concealer. I believe it's the shade 00, Fair 00. So this is like the lightest shade that it comes in. And I really like this because it just like, it's really good, especially under like color shadows, because it gives it like a little extra pop. So basically just like this eye, I'm going to be cutting the crease, but like I'm doing the whole lid. Now that I've kind of sketched the outline, I'm going to be going back with more and filling in the lid and then touching up that spot that I just did. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I did break the rules a teeny tiny bit. I had to go into the Lice to Drag palette and grabbed the shade Cake Face because that's like the white shade, just so I could set that concealer because I didn't want to use my setting powder because it has kind of a little bit of a tannish tint to it, and that would completely ruin the whole point of using a white concealer for this. Next, we're gonna see what lashes he chose for me. Lashes today, we have the Celador Cosmetics lashes in the style Baby Doll. We have Villain lashes in the style Queen of Hearts, and Icon lashes in the style Slay. All of them are kind of beaten up because I need to get new lashes. I just haven't gotten around to it because lashes are so expensive. So I'm going to be using some kind of torn up and ugly looking lashes, but that's what I've been doing for the last like 2 months because I haven't wanted to spend money on lashes. Oscar, are you ready? Okay. Okay. For these lashes, we're going to be using Icon lashes in the style Slay. Okay, so now I'm going to be going off camera to apply these just because it's what I always do when I apply lashes. But I'm going to be applying Icon lashes in the style Slay, and then I will be back. I'm going to take a quick break after I apply my lashes so my camera battery can charge, and then we will move on to the lower lash line and the rest of my face. Okay, so I'm back now. My battery is charged, at least mostly, and I went and had some ice cream. So now it's time to get back to the look itself. And now I'm gonna go back for the lower lash line into the Thirsty palette. And I'm going to be taking all of the shades that we put on top, and we're just going to be putting them right in the lower lash line in the same exact order that they are in the top. First, we're going to be taking the shade Quench, and we're going to be putting that in the inner third of the lower lash line, just like it is on the lid. Then we're going to be taking the shade Submerge. Let me just wipe that off. I'm going to be taking that and applying it into the center. And we're going to blend it into the yellow. And we are going to be taking the shade Bitch, and we are putting that in the outer third, blending that into the blue. Once again, like exactly what we did on the top. We're just gonna do right to the bottom. And that's that. So then next, I'm just gonna go off camera and apply mascara to the lower lash line. I'm using one that I chose because I don't ever use any other mascara on the lower lash line. But this is the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara, and I'm obsessed with this. Okay, so now that we've done that, for the inner corner highlight, I know that I said that I didn't like the shades, like the metallic-y whatever shades in the Thirsty palette, and I actually got this in the mail today. So this is from the brand Peaches Makeup, and I found them on Instagram. They're a brand from the UK, and they have a lot of like pigments and stuff. And I've seen so many people from the UK using these, and they were so gorgeous, so I really wanted to try them myself. And this one is one of their like shimmery pigments, and this one is in the shade Mermaids. So we're gonna try this for the first time today. It is pretty. I don't know why I just smelled it as if it would smell like something. I'm gonna take the Morphe M149 brush, which is what I use for the shades in the lower lash line. I'm just gonna dip into this lightly. I'm going to tap some of it off. I'm just going to start by gently placing it in the inner corner because, ooh, I was just going to say because I don't know how pigmented this is or how much like payoff there's going to be, but wow. Good thing I didn't go in with a lot right off the bat. Okay, I love this. Like that palette never disappoints. Never ever disappoints. For bronzer, which is what I'm gonna do next, he didn't pick out a bronzer because I only use one bronzer. I have like 2 other bronzers, so I guess he could have chosen, but I hate one of them, and the other one I don't really like. I only use one bronzer anyway. I've only used the other 2 bronzers like a couple times, so we're just gonna stick with my usual Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and if you could see, I just hit pan on this, so we're gonna be getting a new one soon. I love the smell of this one. So we're just gonna do the usual Ooh, tomorrow I'm excited because tomorrow the Norvina palette launches at Ulta, and I'm going tomorrow morning. That's so annoying. I'm going tomorrow morning to get it because I have Ulta points with like that Ulta rewards card, and basically I'm going to be getting the palette for free with all the points that I've gotten. So I'm excited about that because I always spend way too much money on makeup, and I'm trying to stop. I've actually been doing a pretty good job with that. So next step is blush. So we shall see what he chooses for that one. Or I guess you guys will see because I know already. But yeah, so let's roll that clip. For blush, my options are the NARS blush in the shade Dolce Vita, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Radiant Blush Kit, and the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Blush in the shade 10 Rosy. Are you ready, Oscar? Okay. Okay, so I guess today I'm going to be using the Anastasia Radiant Blush Kit. Okay, so like you saw, he picked this palette. Recently, what I've been doing is I'm literally just gonna go like that, and I drag it around each of the shades, because I can never choose. Ooh, there's a hair. So we're just gonna smile and get the apples of the cheeks and blend it back. We're gonna do the same little swish again, and the other side. Next for highlight, we shall see what Oscar chooses for this one. These are the Mary Luminizer by The Balm, Jouer Citrine Highlighter, Anastasia Amrezy Highlight, and Becca Opal Highlight. Okay. So for today we're using the Anastasia Amrezy Highlighter. You just saw he chose the Anastasia Amrezy Highlighter. My mom just texted me. She said we have $145 in Ulta points. Getting a lot of makeup tomorrow. This is my favorite highlighter. I'm really happy he chose this one because I literally don't wear any other highlighter pretty much. So we're just going to be applying that to the high points of the cheekbones, tip of the nose. I no longer apply it to the bridge of my nose because I notice that it makes my nose look really long when I do that, and I don't need that to happen. So now I just apply it right here, like where my nose meets like my forehead type of area, and then I bring it on either side. Just like adds a nice like, and like I said, tip of my nose. And I'm just taking a little, and I go around the side, on that side of my forehead, and then honestly I take some in the middle too. And then I go on my chin. So pretty much just soak your whole face in highlighter. Except for the bridge of your nose, because that will make your nose look long. But we definitely can't forget to put 101 layers on the tip of our nose, because if you can't see your nose highlight from the next country over, then there's a problem. I'll probably end up applying more later, but for now I think we're good. I'm just going to be spraying my face with MAC Fix Plus, like I always do. Just melt everything together and make my highlight even brighter than it already is after that 100 layers of highlight. So we're going to do that. I need to close up my mirror. I hate when I get spray on my mirror. When I gotta put my phone over here, I hate getting spray on like mirrors and phones and stuff, so I always have to like put it away, otherwise I get like anxiety when I see spray on my phone or my mirror. We are going to be doing lips. I didn't have him choose a lip liner because I figured I would just choose a lip liner that matched best with the lipstick that he chose, because if he chose a lipstick that was completely different from the lip liner that he chose, that would be a huge problem. I'm just going to go off camera to apply the lip liner because it's nothing exciting, but what I'm going to be using is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade 951. Okay, so now that I've lined my lips, we're gonna see which lipstick shade Oscar chose for me. And lastly, for lipstick, today we have the Huda Beauty, what is this? Liquid Matte Lipstick in the shade Jet Setter. And then we have the MAC Cosmetics Velvet Teddy lipstick. This one is ColourPop Ultra Satin in the shade 951. And then lastly, we have the ColourPop Ultra Satin in the shade Magic Wand. Okay. Okay, so today we're going to be using ColourPop Ultra Satin in the shade Magic Wand. I just really hope that this matches with the look I come up with, so we'll see how this goes. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the choices he has made for me. Okay, so like I said, he chose ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Magic Wand, and this is one of my favorites. It goes with pretty much everything, so I'm hoping it goes with this look. Okay, so I don't necessarily love the lip with this look, but it is what he chose, so we're just gonna go with it, and I believe that's it for this look. Okay, so that is all for this look and this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really love how this came out. Like I said, it was supposed to be like a snow cone-ish inspired look. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!